Hello and welcome to the channel. As I promised, here we have the two microphones that we started testing earlier. This time we're going to put it to a couple tests just to see how they do. In front of me I have the ONN $30 microphone versus, let me see, a Aokeo $17 LED microphone. Both of them have different characteristics. For example, the $17 microphone has a frequency range between 100 Hertz and 18,000 Hertz, versus the $30 microphone has a range from 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz, which means that the frequency in both of them are different. This one actually has a broader range of frequencies or pickup. So that means that for a studio, kind of semi-professional environment, where you have different sounds, they're gonna come through a different frequency, obviously. This will be able to pick up those sounds much more clearer, rather than the $17 one. But if you want something that is just a casual thing, podcast or something like that, I mean, yes, this microphone will do that, obviously. But if you're starting up and you want something that looks nice, as this one does, this one changes color for you, and it has its own pedestal. So is this one. It does pivot, as well as this one, of course. And you're not going to have a range of frequencies or sounds floating all around that you're interested to being picked up. Yes, then this microphone, $17 microphone, will do all that stuff for you. But if you want something that has a little bit of range to it, has a couple extra features. For example, this one, the $30 one, is a unidirectional or semi-unidirectional microphone, as well as a omnidirectional, meaning that you can choose if you just want mainly the front part of the microphone to pick up the majority of the sounds, your voice, etc. Or if you want both sides to pick up more ambient sounds, or if you have somebody else on the other side of the table and you want the conversation to be picked up by a single microphone, this one gives you that option, and it's this button back here. Right now it's set to omnidirectional, or what do they call it, cardioid, but it's pretty much single direction. It is not 100% single direction. There's a little bit of bleed over on the back side, but the majority is on one side. I have it set up just to one side because this microphone only can do one side, and I presume is that the pickup is facing up, versus this one perhaps maybe have two separate microphone pickups, so it's controlled electronically inside the mic. One other thing that this thing has is that it does come with a jack where you can plug in a headset, so it will serve as a monitoring port, if you will, so you can hear what you're saying and you can hear exactly how it sounds, rather than having it to go through several pieces of equipment and come out in some other output in the room or in the headset. So this one gives you the opportunity to actually monitor in real time exactly how it sounds going into the mic, versus this one does not. If you actually want to hear how it sounds, you actually have to use a different device with an output, and then you'll have your output sound. Another thing that I noticed is that this microphone, the $30 microphone, the ONN, you can actually mount it on a tripod like I used to have, and that's a camera tripod, versus this one does not. It does have a small threaded receiver down at the bottom, but it might probably be for a microphone stand or something like that, but it's much smaller than your traditional camera tripod, which I kind of sort of like, because then that means I can actually put it in anywhere, like camera tripod, like I used to. So this one gives me a little more flexibility on that. And the thing is that every single screwed on attachment is the same diameter as the attachment for the microphone stand. So I can actually set it up sideways if I needed to. Not that I need to, but choices are better to have them than not to. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with this ONN microphone. But then again, a $17 microphone, depending what you're doing, depending what your budget is, if you want to have a little more bling in your setup, this does the job. Your mute button is the actual volume button. You simply just press once and it turns pink. I'm not sure why it wouldn't turn red, like a stop sign, stop lights and everything. But I mean, anyway, but it turns pink. Now that pink's not a bad color, pink is a good color too. If you press and hold, it will actually turn off the LEDs inside. And obviously if you press and hold, it will turn it back on. It will remain on the mute setting, and if you wanted to activate it back again, just press once and it resumes its color changing pattern, as well as receiving your voice. Versus the ONN, it just has a single button for the mute, and it's blue when it's not. It also has a volume control, which at the moment is on max. I have the recording program set to -4 decibels gain, and I'll be testing both microphones the same distance, with the same input decibels, and except that this one here seems to be at the mid-range volume on the volume control. It seems like it's a forever knob. I mean, you can just turn it and it just keeps going. But I don't see no much different on my input side. If I go past 360 degrees, of course. But those are the two characteristics I so far have seen by just reading, of course, the boxes and stuff like that. And I've been using the ONN microphone for some time, and it just performs well. I have no issues with it. Pickup is fine, and the only thing is obviously because of the frequency range, it does tend to pick up a little bit of background noise, but it's not like it bothers me or interrupts any of the recordings or anything like that. It would be nice if it can just eliminate some of the little annoyances if the AC unit kicks on, or if the gaming computer fan just starts revving up. That also is a plus. And obviously, it looks cool next to this one. Of course, it has those pretty lights and stuff like that. See, it says, "Look at me. I changed color for you. I'm pretty." But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and start testing some of the input features, if you will, by setting one microphone, playing some brown noise and some ambient noise, and see how each of them do. The $17 one does not say the sampling, but the ONN $30 one, I believe it has 24-bit sampling at 48 kilohertz, which means that it will try to clean the sound. So it's doing something inside besides just picking up the voice. And versus the $17 one doesn't have that, which means, but it has the pretty color lights. So yeah, see, it changes color nicely. Yeah. But again, it's all depending what your need is. The same thing with the $5 camera that I reviewed a few weeks ago. It's a $5 camera that just works well, and if that's good for you and it's in the budget, yeah, definitely. Same thing with this. It's $17. It may probably be just enough for what you need, and yeah, you can just run with it. And plus, it's aesthetically nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these boxes away and all this extra stuff away, so we can give each microphone the best chance to capture in a natural environment without sounds being purposely bounced towards it or away from it. So, and see how they perform. Okay, we're back. Set up everything the way I normally have it, and we're gonna go ahead and first a moment of silence and see what the microphone picks up. That's a refrigerator running in the background, so maybe that's probably what maybe picked up. So now let's go ahead and play brown noise. I think this is 380 kilohertz, I think it is, but it sounds just like if you're in an airplane. I mean, you never know. You might be in your private jet and you want to record something that just pop in your head, and it so happens that you have a $30 microphone in your $18 million jet. I mean, you never know. Okay, let's say, for example, if you're in a cafe and again an idea just popped up and you need to record it, and it so happens that you have your $30 microphone with you. So let's see how it performs. At this point, you're probably thinking you need to go someplace else because it's very loud, and you probably can't even think with all the noise. Can anybody be quiet, please? Trying to think, yeah, that's not gonna work. But hopefully your microphone is able to pick up your voice, and you'll be able to get out of what you need to do in that particular moment. Again, it doesn't have to be a cafe. It could just simply be at home or what have you, and you have background noise, which does happen. Obviously, it's not going to be all this amount of people there, but you get the gist. And remember, right now, I have the microphone set to just pick up this side of the microphone. Okay, pretty much unidirectional or dial or something, what it says in the box. So I'm just gonna press a button to see if there's any change if I set it up to omnidirectional, which means all around. Okay, so that's pretty much that part of the test with a natural restaurant ambient noise. All right, and we're back. Set it up as a soothing office sound background noise. Not quite sure why you will be doing videos the office, but hey, maybe you work on a noisy environment or semi-noisy environment, not like the restaurant one. So let's see. Yeah, so it looks like you're in this open cubicle environment where people are just going about their business. Not a lot of keyboard clicking, but it's more like air conditioner going, people walking around. Not much really going on except a little bit of probably maybe white noise, I guess. There's not a lot of clicking and opening cabinets and copy machines going, nothing like that. But yeah, so this is pretty much how it will sound in that kind of environment with your ONN $30 microphone. So let's go ahead and put the $17 microphone to the same test and see how it performs. Okay, and we're back. In front of us we have the Aokeo $17 microphone. And I keep saying $17. I mean $7. That's what I got it for in Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description below in case if you're interested. As we discussed before, it has LEDs. It looks nice. It is very light, and it doesn't have any extra output directly on the microphone itself. The frequency range is a lot narrower than the ONN, but so let's see how it performs and give it a chance to see what he hears. Just like the ONN, the background noise that you hear, if he's picking it up, is from the refrigerator, which is still running. So let's go ahead and test out the brown noise. Alright, I have set up the video for the brown noise just like we did with the ONN microphone. So let's see how it sounds or what it actually picks up. And remember, we're not just going to hear the background noise. Of course, for us, it will be noise. But what we're interested on is to see how well it picks up your voice. Remember that this is a unidirectional microphone pickup, and the shape of it seems to be just pretty much looking up, if you will. So it will be a mushroom kind of sort of effect. So we'll be picking up all around, facing up, of course. So it will be picking up anything that isn't around it, not as much as noise that it's below its stand. In a sense, yes, it will pick up some stuff, but not as much. Versus the other microphone was back and front, directional. So let's see how it does under the microphone. Let's see how it does under the brown noise, and see how it picks up our voice. And again, it sounds more like if you're in an airplane. So let's say, for example, if you're flying economy and you just simply want to record something. So pretty much this is how it will sound like if you're in a plane, or perhaps you're right next to an air conditioner or something like that. So pretty much this is how it will sound when you're talking into it in an environment that produces some kind of background sturdy frequency. So pretty much this is how it will sound on this kind of conditions. The noises, the same level of frequency, and you need to talk over it. Perhaps you don't need to shout, nothing like that. Maybe the microphone is doing a pretty good job of picking up your voice and canceling out the background noise. Remember, the frequency on this one is a lot narrower, so perhaps that will help in this particular frequency range that we are hearing as a background. So let's go ahead and put it to the test on the coffee shop background noise that we heard before using the other microphone. And we're back. So I have set up the restaurant background noise. So let's see how the microphone is going to perform under those conditions. Remember that this background noise test is much louder than the other one. You have different frequencies going on, different amplitudes, volume. So you have a big range of things going on in the background, which is the same video that we test our ONN microphone with. And the whole thing is to see how the microphone performs under those conditions. Not as much as picking up the noise, but picking up your voice. And of course, I'm not shouting over it. Haven't changed my distance from the microphone. And yes, I try to compete a little bit with that natural environment that I'm under right now. But it's not like I'm trying to overwhelm it, because then it kind of sort of defeats the whole purpose of the microphone doing its job with its pickup range. Okay, so let's go ahead now and set it up to the office environment, and let's see how it does. All right, we're back again. So right now I have set up the test as a office environment, just like we did with the ONN microphone. So let's see how it performs. Obviously it's a little more quieter than cafe environment. There's not a lot of going on. Again, you hear a little more the air conditioning system going on. There's some people shuffling around. There's not a lot of keyboard clicking or mouse clicking or computer being swung out the window. Not much of that. So the microphone doesn't have a lot to compete in this kind of environment. But that might be something that could be in your environment. where you have, primarily the air conditioner, which tends to be in the way of everything sometimes, especially if you have a microphone that is very sensitive. Obviously, the more sensitive your microphone is, the better quality of you can hear of your voice. That's why you have different microphones, of course. All right. So I have set up this other test so we can look at what the volume ranges are. So right now I'm starting from midpoint, and we are recording with the office background noise. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it anti-clockwise to the left towards 0. I'm gonna do that in a slow manner, so that way we can have time to gauge the different volume stages. When the background noise stops being registered by my software, and when my voice stops being registered by the software, which means that the volume has reached 0. Of course, the knob will stop turning, obviously. But so far, it looks like still picking up my voice, but I don't see it being background noise being picked up. It's not registering. So I'm gonna keep turning, and yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to turn it clockwise, towards the right, towards the maximum. And I'm going to be doing it slowly, giving the chance to the background noise to be registered. And this is something that you probably have to adjust and test in your environment. There might be situations where the noises that you have no control of. For example, somebody's mowing the lawn outside, your neighbor, or train is passing by, whatever the situation might be. And if you have to record or adjust in a fly, adjust on the fly, then you can look at your gauges, see where the noise level is at, adjust your volume on your microphone, whether it's physical or the software, and then you have to then project your voice accordingly. So right now I am close to midpoint, probably 1/4 of the way to midpoint. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So right now I am at midpoint. I'm trying not to change the position of the mic so that way we have a plain field experiment, and I'm still in the semi-directional pickup, meaning that it's just picking up the majority of my voice on the front face of the mic. So let's go ahead and continue going towards the max. The office background noise still playing in the background. Right now I'm 3/4 of the way towards the max. And right now almost to the max volume, and of course the button will stop turning as it is right now. So right now the ONN microphone is at its max volume. So let's go ahead and set up the other microphone and let's see how it performs. Okay, so I changed my input USB. This one's being recognized as USB. That one's recognized as ONN. So something to look for when you are setting up your microphone. It actually will not say the branding versus the ONN will. Okay, so right now, still playing the same background noise. The volume knob on this microphone, the Aokeo, it's undecisive. You can just turn the volume knob all you want, but not quite sure where its max range is because the knob will not stop. But it will when you turn it towards the left, it will obviously stop picking up any noise, obviously any your voice or anything like that, but it doesn't quite indicate when it reaches the max. So we'll find out. I'm gonna go do the same thing I did with the ONN, turn it slowly towards the left, anti-clockwise, and let's see when it stops picking up. So this volume knob kind of clicks as it goes, versus the ONN doesn't. So I started at a fictitious midpoint. Right now, 3/4 of the way down towards the mark where it says negative. I'm gonna click a few more times, and it looks like it's still picking up, and it's not. So according to my gauge on the software, I went from picking up something, a good bit of it, did one click, and it was just nothing. It wasn't picking up anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and start going clockwise towards the plus sign, and let's see what it picks up along the way. Again, I'm still picking up the background noise, and obviously when I'm speaking, and it looks like when I'm touching or turning the knob, it looks like it's also picking up that noise according to the gauge. And obviously you guys are able to hear all the stuff in as it's happening. Right now I am 3/4 on the way towards the max indicator, and of course once I reach there, I'm gonna continue going and see what happens. I know the knob is just gonna keep going. I'm not quite sure what's doing now, but it's still picking up my voice and the background noise. I'm right now past the plus indicator, and it's still picking up background noise and my voice as well. Same situation. It doesn't look like it has changed much, except that it looks like it has it's picking up less now. Let me go anti-clockwise towards if you can see there, I'll go towards the plus sign, and let's see if gains back, goes back to what it was before. No, it seems like it's the same volume range. Okay, so right now I'm going towards the midpoint where I started, and it's done. Yeah, it seems like there is some kind of digital variance in there where it doesn't matter where you're at, you can still push the variance any way you want, but you only have this much of gain. So it doesn't matter if you turn it this way or that way, your gain will still be the same all around. Because I just turned, I was turning towards the middle, and it went down to 0. So yeah, so the volume control on this thing is a little bit crazy. Not quite sure where the max is, but the only thing you can do is just look at your gauge and find its happy medium. Alright, well, that was very interesting. Alright, so that's it for the experiment and the test. It was an experiment and a test for me because obviously I don't know what to expect in either one of them. I bought the $17 one because of the aesthetics. I've been using the ONN because it was the first thing I saw at Walmart. It was $30. It looked solid, and I figure, hey, it will. I think it will work. I'm not looking for anything professional, nothing like that. As long as I'm able to project my voice to it, and it will pick it up the way roughly how I sound. That's what I want. If I need to touch it up, I can do it in the software. But so far, I've been very satisfied with the ONN. The $17 one was more for aesthetics, so I went ahead and said, "Hey, let's compare them and see how either one of them perform under different conditions." Obviously, I don't have that issue. I don't have that noise or nothing like that to worry about. But perhaps you guys do. And obviously, at different environments, have different levels, etc., etc. And if you want something that is very inexpensive, has some aesthetic to it, and if the $17 one works for you, hey, that's the one that will work for you. Not to say that the $30 one will not work for you, but if it's aesthetics you're looking for, and it will do the job, yeah, sure. I mean, go for it. Again, we're just comparing it to see what fits you, and hopefully this video is able to achieve that. For me, I can use either one of them. Perhaps have just one just for aesthetics looks, or both. Who knows? Maybe I'll alternate. But again, every situation is different, and I hope that I can actually bring a little bit of resolvement when you're looking for making this kind of decisions. Obviously, there are many microphones out there. So far, these are the two that I have, and so far they work for me. Again, thank you for watching, and hopefully this video was very informative for you. See you in the next one.